With me today is Chandra Levy's mother, Susan Levy, who has traveled from California and meeting with us all today. And a stunning turn of events in Chandra's case. We have gone several times to the Chandra Levy prosecutors asking for the evidence in Chandra's murder case to be re-evaluated with the most up-to-date and state-of-the-art DNA technology. After several attempts at getting Chandra's clothing, for instance, reanalyzed, we have been turned down repeatedly. And this is not just about Chandra Levy's case. This is about all the crime victims that are called cold cases that are waiting for justice. And now let me have Ms. Levy speak to that.
You know, there is the Me Too movement that many people are speaking out. But what about my daughter? She's not able to speak out. She is part of the Me Too movement, just like all the other victims have fallen by the wayside of killers. And I speak out for her. That's Me Too. Chandra Levy needs someone to speak out for her. And there is things we don't know about in her case that I think needs to still be investigated.
Ms. Levy, let me ask you, I know that I, as well as you, have reached out to the prosecutors in Chandra's case and begged that, for instance, Chandra's exercise tights that were found near her remains, that were tied in knots, we presume by her killer, be retested, for instance, for touch DNA or for with the use of an HVAC or any myriad of DNA technology advances. What, if anything, were you told?
That the pants and other items that were found were left outside for a year. The elements is gone. That is also that too many people have touched it, and it's contaminated by all the other people who have used tried to look into her clothing. That's what I've been told.
But would they be using plastic gloves with evidence?
You would think so, but look at what happened when right from the beginning in the apartment, and they never had the tapes for the apartment, and then streams the 9/11 call, and a lot of things just doesn't match up to me. So,
but my issue is, even if the new DNA testing on Chandra's evidence yields nothing, how do we know that? It may yield nothing, but it may prove something. We don't know that new technology will not give us answers.
No, that we don't know, and I hope and pray that we would have some kind of knowledge that there is too many things that are not answered in this case.
When you contacted the prosecutors there in D.C., in Washington, to try to get Chandra's evidence retested, what was the message sent to you?
Well, they said it's all been done. There's nothing I can do. In fact, I kind of felt like I was an annoyance, and that basically that I rather just go along and let the case lay like the rest, like Marilyn Monroe, you know, or other
Just
cases.
never get an answer?
Don't get an answer. And really, the truth is, regardless of what the answer is, my daughter is dead. And I'm wearing this tree of life up here, and the limb and the root is missing in our family. But I think someone out there still knows the real answer of what happened to my daughter, Chandra.
I got a question. After Chandra went missing and you went through the search, and then her remains were found, and you waited for them to be identified, and then they were identified, and then there was a trial, and then because one witness drops out, they let the guy go home to El Salvador after he's convicted. when he was not retried, or the case was not reworked, how did that affect you?
It was devastating for me. Although my husband and I are on different sides. I was told that Guadiki is wanted for murder in El Salvador. That's what I was told. And it was hard. The big hard thing for me was the very first time in the trial. And here I've been sitting with all the lawyers and people working for behalf of me, and they all ran out right away to the front of the building to talk to the TV camera. And here I am in a room, kind of almost by myself with Yvonne Bryant and one other man who was very kind and considerate, but and with the Barely Crime Victims Group. But I felt pretty alone at that moment.
And interesting that all this time has passed and you're basically still alone trying to get justice in Chandra Levy's case. It's like no one's even trying to put the guy in jail.
Well, in my opinion, it's a play on word. Is it justice, Justice, or justus, Justus? This is a federal situation. I don't understand. That's all I can say.
Well, why not release the evidence to you so you can get the funds to have it tested yourself?
Well, I wouldn't know how to do it. I need people to help me. And I'm willing to do that, but I need the people with knowledge.
Well, I feel, Ms. Levy, that this is not just about Chandra, but about many, many victims whose cases are languishing.
Yes.
And prosecutors, this hurts me to say that, as a former prosecutor and a crime victim, that prosecutors are unwilling to go forward with new DNA technology to try and get answers.
That's
just
true.
leaving the cases unsolved. How do those victims' families feel?
They feel slighted. I think they would feel slighted. Although your whole foundation as a human being and your family has been shaken up so much that a lot of times they don't have the strength to go on and be a bulldog in a sense. And it makes it hard.
So, Ms. Levy was contacted by the Cold Case Research Institute in the hopes that the DC prosecutors who handled Chandra Levy's murder trial will change their minds and retest the evidence, come what may, so that justice may be served in Chandra's case. Thank you. Crime victims